The nanites began screaming, not audibly. My visor lit up red as the swarm boiled through the corridor. A glittering storm, chewing steel into lace. Alarms cascaded. Gravity hiccuped. Somewhere, a bulkhead failed. The palace began to die. I shoved the alien queen into the nearest door and slammed it shut behind us. A broom closet, 1 meter wide, pipes sweating coolant. No exits. The lock melted under the swarm's first kiss. She stood perfectly still, a sculpture of ice and angles, skin refracting light like cut crystal. Her breath didn't fog. Mine did. Fast, loud, stupid. Caffeine, adrenaline, mammal panic. Next option, she asked, voice calm as vacuum. Begins with don't move, I said, tearing the medkit open. The swarm gnawed through the door. Metal curled like petals. The clock started. She tilted her head. Geometry assessing chaos. Your weapon? Reveals later. I ripped off my jacket, wrapped it around her shoulders, and pulled her closer. Her temperature warning spiked on my HUD. Mine plunged. The door failed. Nanites poured in. A silver river, hungry for patterns. Circuits, lattices cold perfection. They swerved toward her like moths to a star. I stepped between. They hit me first. Pain arrived in waves. Heat burned. Cold followed. The swarm sampled my skin. Confused. Proteins. Sweat. Salts. Noise. I grabbed the coolant pipe and twisted. It burst. Steam screamed. Warmth fought cold. Chaos bloomed. The queen's eyes flared. What are you doing? Continuing, I said through clenched teeth. I pressed my bare chest to her crystalline armor and held. Skin to ice. Mammal furnace to alien zero. The swarm hesitated. My bio readings spiked. Heart racing. Blood loud. Hormones flooding. The nanites recalculated. This wasn't a clean lattice. It was a storm. Heat gradients jittered. Chemical signals contradicted. The swarm began to stutter. Reveals, she whispered. Your biology. Burning, I said. Literally. I yanked the emergency flare and cracked it. Red light filled the closet. More heat. More noise. I laughed once, sharp, dumb, and coughed. The swarm recoiled, then surged again, angry. She moved then, her hand, impossibly cold, pressed to my spine. The pipes froze solid. Steam snapped into frost. The temperature gradient went insane. Hot me, cold her, oscillation. The swarm fractured, its cohesion tearing like wet paper. The closet shook. The palace groaned. The door frame shattered outward. The nanites fled. Silence fell hard. I sagged, breath ragged, skin blistered, alive. She stood, unmarked, frost melting into dew. For the first time, the queen looked startled. Begins, she said softly, a doctrine. What doctrine? I asked, vision tunneling. She watched the retreating swarm, eyes bright with a dangerous idea. Continues, she said, never hunt a human in a small room. The silence didn't last. Next came footsteps, too synchronized, too light. Palace sentinels, reconfiguring after the swarm's failure. My HUD flickered back to life with one cruel word. Encircled. The queen didn't look at the corridor. She looked at me. Reveals, she said, you are damaged. Begins every good plan, I wheezed, forcing myself upright. Skin burned. Nerves screamed. Adrenaline kept lying. Keep close. They'll target you first. They will fail, she replied. Calm, absolute. They have not adapted. The doorframe exploded inward. Sentinels flowed through, white armor, faceless helms, rifles humming with cold light, precision incarnate. They saw the queen, weapons rose. I moved before thought. I grabbed a fallen pipe, still warm from friction, and hurled it. Not at the soldiers, at the ceiling. The pipe struck a coolant line. Liquid nitrogen flooded the corridor. Fog detonated. Visibility died. Continues, I shouted. Run. We ran. The queen moved like a theorem unfolding. Sharp turns. Perfect balance. I stumbled after her, boots slipping, lungs on fire. Behind us, sentinels fired. Beams cut frost into glassy scars, inches from my spine. A shot grazed my arm. Pain bloomed. Blood sprayed hot against freezing air. The fog reacted. Nanite residue still clung to the walls. Heat plus blood plus chaos. The corridor began to writhe. Sentinels slowed, systems recalculating. One slipped. Another crashed. Order fractured. The queen stopped suddenly. Next, she said, eyes narrowing. They learn. Ahead, the hall opened into the atrium of vows. 3 stories of open space. Bridges like spider silk. No cover. A killing bowl. Turrets unfolded from the walls. I laughed again. Short. Broken. Figures. She stepped in front of me. For the first time, geometry bent. Her crystalline skin warmed. Just a little. Not enough to fog. Enough to glow. Symbols ignited across her armor. Ancient and sharp. Reveals, she said, voice carrying, the counter doctrine. The turrets fired. I tackled her off the bridge. We fell. Air roared. Gravity grabbed. Below us, the ceremonial pool. Supercooled. Mirror still. Death waiting. I wrapped around her midair, every muscle screaming. Trust me, she didn't resist. We hit the water. Cold slammed through me like knives. The world went white. My heart seized, then fought. I kicked, dragged, burned. Behind us, the turrets overheated. The pool boiled. Steam erupted. A pillar of chaos and warmth and freezing edges. Sensors blinded. Systems panicked. The palace screamed again. We burst out the far side, crawling onto stone, gasping. I lay there shaking, alive by seconds. The queen rose smoothly. She looked down at me, not startled now. Impressed. Begins, she declared to the empty hall. The age of human variables. Above us, alarms escalated, and somewhere deeper in the palace, something ancient woke up. The closet ruptures. Nanites punch through the door in a liquid wave. Black metal turns molten at my feet, then freezes again, smarter than before. They've mapped my heat. They've learned my breath. Hold, the queen commands. I don't. I move. I rip the emergency panel off the wall and jam my arm into the conduit. Power arcs. Pain blooms white. My muscles lock. But the heat spikes. Human nerves dumping everything at once. The swarm hesitates. 1/10 of a second. That's all I need. Next, I grab the queen and pull her against me. Her geometry flares. Angles screaming. Frost shattering into steam. She gasps, not fear, not pain, surprise. My skin burns, where hers should freeze me solid. But biology doesn't ask permission. The nanites surge. They enter my skin. Fire. They don't cut. They don't bite. They calculate. They discover water, salt, chaos. Cells bursting. Immune systems waking like ancient gods. Fever climbs. My vision tunnels. The swarm loses cohesion. Algorithms collapsing as antibodies crash into them like blind meteors. Impossible, the queen whispers. Yeah, I say, teeth clenched. We do that. Next, The swarm retreats from me, then redirects to her. Her geometry flickers. Ice patterns fracture. Her species evolved for vacuum, for precision, for cold. Not this. Not heat carried inside living flesh. Nanites latch onto her crystalline skin and begin rewriting it. I shove my wrist against her chest. Open, I snarl. She understands. Her chest plates part, revealing the core lattice. Pure order, glowing blue-white. I press my bleeding arm into it. Blood splashes across alien math. Steam explodes. The lattice screams, then sinks. Cold logic forced to accept heat as a variable. The nanites panic. Their coordination shatters. Some melt. Some freeze midair dead. Others scatter, dumb, inert, raining like ash. Next, the station alarms wake. Gravity stutters. The corridor outside tears open as automated defenses finally respond. Plasma cannons light the dark. The swarm is cut down, layer by layer, until silence returns. I slump. The queen holds me up. Her geometry is changed now. Curves where angles were. Warmth, pulsing faintly beneath alien crystal. She looks at her hands like they belong to someone else. You altered me, she says. No, I breathe. You adapted. She lifts her gaze. Something new ignites behind her eyes. The swarm will report, she says. They will tell the galaxy. I grin, blood on my teeth. Good, I say. Let it begin. The silence doesn't last. Across the station, surviving nanites ping each other. Not a swarm anymore. Cells, witnesses. They record, compress, transmit. Somewhere beyond the hull, relays wake. Somewhere farther, empires listen. The queen feels it before I do. They're broadcasting, she says, not fear. Not urgency, awe. Your biology, my alteration, the failure. Next, she straightens, taller now, not colder, not warmer, but balanced. Her geometry no longer rejects entropy. It flows with it, living curves woven into crystal logic. She is still a queen. She is also something new. I cough. Blood hits the floor. My fever peaks, then breaks. The nanites inside me are dead, calcified by immune rage, flushed out like trash. I'm shaking, still standing, human. The station shutters open. Security drones flood the corridor, weapons charged, targeting us. The queen raises one hand. Stand down, she commands. They don't recognize her anymore. Next, before they fire, she steps forward and the air warps. Not cold, not heat, both. Her presence bends probability. The drones hesitate, sensors contradicting themselves. Geometry argues with chaos and loses. One by one, weapons power down. Machines fall silent, confused, obedient. She turns to me. This was impossible, she says. Until you. I shrug, barely. We're bad for predictions. Next, the broadcast finishes. Across the galaxy, minds replay the data. Nanite architects see their perfect weapon fail. Not to force, not to armor, not to superior design, but to a sweating mammal who weaponized body heat, immune chaos, and refused to freeze. Alien strategists recalculate. They fail because I wasn't in their models, because humanity never is. The queen faces the stars through the viewport. Her voice carries, not shouted, not amplified, yet it travels. Let the record show, she declares, that humanity is not strong because it is violent, nor dominant because it is numerous. She looks at me. Humanity is strong because it burns. Next, rescue ships arrive. Medics swarm me. I'm dragged onto a stretcher, consciousness fading. As they wheel me away, I see her standing alone in the hangar. No guards, no throne, just quiet power. Changed. She inclines her head. Respect. Between equals. The galaxy notices. Wars pause. Nanite deployments halt. Cold empires reconsider expansion into human space. Diplomatic channels flood with one question. What else can they survive? I smile as darkness takes me, because that's the wrong question. The right one. The one that continues, that terrifies them, that will define the next era, is simpler. What else can humans adapt to? And what happens next has only just begun.